We'd like to welcome you back to this GrindSmart TV. I'm sitting here with young Cyrus, and this your boy Nomadic. You already know. I want to get back into questioning him. First of all, I want to find out where this brother coming from. Where you from?
I represent Gainesville, Georgia. You know what I mean? It's 45 minutes from Atlanta. You know what I mean? It's north. So I'm coming from the country. But hey, bringing something new and different to the table, man. Something you never heard before, man. It's me, young.
Yeah, we like that. Well, it's all country, man. You got country everywhere, so we all family. I've been to New York and seen the country, so they can't tell me nothing different.
Right.
I've seen it all, man. But yeah, man, I want to introduce Ra sponsors Cyrus, father and labor owner, and my man, my homie.
Man.
Oh yeah.
So, I've been in the game for about 19 years, you know what I mean? Coming out of school, I played some ball, shit didn't work out. That story about blowing out your D, you gotta have something to fall back on. I had, had the background in marketing, mass communications. So one of my cousins was already playing in the NFL, doing promotions, that whole big thing. So I jumped in the game with him, threw a couple, a little bit of money in the table, got involved in promotions, doing concerts and shit. And I just got, strong in the business, and I think ultimately I started seeing that the business kind of where the money was at. That was my drive. I was a young hustler, you know what I mean? I was definitely trying to get to that money. So, I stuck with the business. Some unfortunate incidents took place up north, brought me down to the A. I've been down in Atlanta for 15 years. You know what I mean? I done worked with a lot of major labels, a lot of major artists and things like that. So my involvement over the years have kind of escalated my business skills, got me sharp, and I learned some strong lessons. You know what I mean? I learned how to leave my emotions at home when I'm doing this business, and that kind of escalated my game to the next level. My man Nomadic said, you had to grind smart. And in this business, it's definitely a fucking grind. So, my whole thing was you gotta make sure that you go at this shit like it's against you, like it's you against the world. That was my attitude in business. And a lot of cats don't like to work with me. They don't feel me. That's cool, they ain't supposed to. But the ones that's real, the ones really trying to get you this money, understand this business, we all bros. So, that type of energy and injecting that into my man, young Side, you know what I mean? We've been putting a lot of work in together, you know what I mean? He's been a humble student, you know what I mean? He's been in some close, high-end, events and endeavors as a young man. And, being my son, I had a chance to hone him and school him on some of the principles of business. A lot of young and older artists miss that. And then I think, educating and keeping artists aware of business fundamentals and practices is a part of the whole GrindSmart campaign. You know what I mean? Not only in the street, you know what I mean? But if you're in the street and you're trying to get your money right, you got to have your business right. And that's grinding smart, knowing how to create your team and, start your team. So, being in the game 19 years, I learned my lesson. I earned my stripes. Now I'm, rocking on 5 stars, and I'm dealing with bosses. I do boss business. You know what I mean? And I feel comfortable where I'm at because I feel like some of the homies that I am working with, they in some real solid situations and, get this money. And that's, my main focus, my main goal is to do it righteous as possible, you know what I mean, and go hard on the game.
Say no more.
No
Sound like you said it all, man. We're going to get Cyrus up here and see what he got on his mind, see what we can do here. I know I'm going to bob my head to him. He got a lot of energy, a lot of things to say. This man is young but not dumb,